Okay, we're going live on Zoom, so we're not Zoom. YouTube. Look for what? It is 6:30 in the evening. I'd like to call this city council meeting to order. Charles, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for our community. We thank you for those who volunteer their time and those who serve us. And we just pray, Lord, that you continue to build us up in unity. We pray that you would help us to be a light to our community that would not be a burden, but would be an opportunity, Lord, for the community to grow and to prosper. We thank you for our mayor, for the leadership of our council and the leader department heads as they lead our city. Lord, we just thank you for your grace and help. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Hall,
Here.
Councilmember Chapman,
Here.
Councilmember McMinn. Here. Councilmember Hefner.
Here.
Councilmember Brooke.
Here.
Councilmember Rubel.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you very much. First up on the agenda tonight is the review and approval of the council minutes from November 13th. I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. All those any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is financial and department reports as provided. I would entertain a motion to approve as provided.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is Planning Commission report. Mr. Jerry?
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I appreciate to be in front of you again. We had a little bit of business in November. First thing I want to bring up is the UDO was no new things going on with the UDO. We're still waiting. It had something to do with priority or somebody owning the stuff that we couldn't play, wasn't it?
Well, no. We can't update that program because it's theirs.
Oh,
it's
that's right. It was proprietary.
But we have been back and
Yes.
forth with Metroplan and
Right.
made several different changes, added things that will actually benefit other cities too.
All right. And the other thing is the mayor did notify the commission, pending your approval, that we would receive a stipend starting next year. And I just want to tell you thank you in advance, I hope, and with the rest of the commission too. The only other business that we really had at that was brought to us by Tim Lemons. We did the final plats on both Deerfield Estates 5 and Deerfield Estates 6. The final plats were approved pending the as-built, the pressure test, and storm drain covers, and I've checked with all of that, and I understand that has all been taken care of before it came here to you. So I think everything is in good shape. We also, except one thing in case anybody has a question about it, we did approve a gravel cul-de-sac on Buckshot because it hasn't been determined whether they're going to extend the road or not yet. And Tony was there, and I know that Gary was there, and we approved the idea that they could have that gravel cul-de-sac until it's determined whether there's a new road or not will be extended through.
And that is an authorized temporary fix for roads like that.
Yes. And I'll address any questions if you have any.
You said all the contingencies have been met?
Yes.
These contingencies have been met, yes.
With that, I'd entertain a motion to approve the final plat of Phase 5.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to approve final plat Phase 6.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. With that, I entertain a motion to approve the planning commission report as presented.
I make a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second, all right. We have any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Yes, sir.
That's the whole commission, that's the whole planning commission report?
Yes.
What was that?
Is that the whole one?
Was that the whole commission report?
That's it,
That-
yes.
Yeah.
Short one, right? Okay.
It was a short one night. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll also let you know there is no planning commission meeting for this month.
Right.
There's nothing on the agenda.
And the last thing I want to say is I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I wish you all a safe and happy New Year. And God bless all of you. And hopefully we'll all be back here doing this again on January, okay? Have a good one then. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Trey. Have no old business on the agenda, so moving forward to the new business. First on the agenda is Resolution 2023-30. Would you read the title, please, Madam Clerk?
A resolution to establish the annual operating budget for calendar year 2024.
Council, if you remember, we had a working session, worked through the budgetary issues that were brought up, and all those have been incorporated within. Any discussion?
I wanted to see about.
Turn your mic on, thank you.
I wanted to see about adding a engineering study for the co-op, where the little shed things are.
We can do that, but I will tell you that we are looking at possibility of moving water operations down to the water wastewater treatment plant and then putting that property up for sale. To get our laborers off the main highway.
Well, I just think that would be a great place for a city hall. And so that's what the engineering, excuse me, study would do, is to possibly start there where those sheds are in the porta pot and knock that stuff down and start there.
So you think we need to have an engineering study to potentially move City Hall to that location? Where water operations is? Where the old co-op? Right.
I think it's a start.
Yes.
Right, then it comes to-
Engineering study or an not agriculture, but an architect rendering?
And, I
What's
think-
the difference?
There's a lot of difference.
Yeah, I think probably engineering study probably.
I don't know how many it is.
I think it's
I mean,
I think it's an acre or 2 acres.
budgets can be amended at any time by the council. Might I suggest that we table this, let us take a look at this, and bring it back next month?
Okay.
Would it be all right?
Have we, obviously, we've not been on the council very long.
Yeah.
Do we have a long-range plan so it seems like to me, we've gotten the cart before the horse. We're gonna
Somewhat.
finance it before we do
We have to
that.
start somewhere.
Oh, I agree, but I think it would be a discussion about,
Yeah, let us, if you don't mind, bring this back next month, and we had just started talking about what's possibilities, what's feasibility of moving water ops down there, and then selling that area down there. It might be a revenue generating piece of property.
I think it'd be a great place for the city hall, being on the main road.
I know there was talk at one time about putting City Hall out by the park on Payne Street. But if that's okay, we'll
Sure.
carry that forward to next month, take a look at it. Okay? All right. All right, so any further discussion on the operating budget for calendar year 2024? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2023-30.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-30 is approved. Thank you, council. Next on the agenda, Resolution 2023-31. Read the title, please.
A resolution to establish the annual ward water and sewer system operating budget for calendar year 2024.
I open the floor for comment or discussion. Hearing none. Excuse me? Pardon me?
Was this for the floor or for us too?
For you. Turn your mic on.
I maybe overlooked it, but I didn't see anything in the budget for training.
For training, training's not a separate line item.
What does it fall under then?
It just falls under general.
Okay,
We
what-
gather all the, we, believe me,
So what,
send people
so
who
what
can.
is the budget for training then?
I'd have to look at it. Let me see if I can find it. Under wastewater, wastewater, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let's see.
Does it fall under other operating expenses?
It does. Right, we don't have a line item for that.
So it could be $5 or it could be 5,000.
No, it could be what we need it to be within what monies we have to spend and what the needs are of our people for licensing.
You need to have it as a line item in the future, I believe.
Noted. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2023-31.
Motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
We're abstaining from this one.
and Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Motion carries. For clarification, Mr. Rubel's wife works for us. Her salary comes from the water, wastewater budget, and he cannot vote for that. Glad you said that, I forgot about that. Next on the agenda is ordinance 2023-24, which read the title, please.
An ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance 2021-16, clarifying the duties of the office of the mayor for the city of Ward, Arkansas, establishing the salary of the mayor for the city of Ward, Arkansas, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes.
And I open up the floor for discussion. Yes. Mic on, please. Sorry.
Of course, for the salary for the mayor,
Yes,
I know we discussed the pay increase,
right.
but either I misheard or I was under understanding that it was going to be for 3 years, not the 4.
Next 3 consecutive years is what I had written down.
Well, it'll be 24, 25, 26, but in the
And that's fine.
ordinance, you have 24, 25, 26, and 27.
Right.
So which one is it going to be?
I believe that was my recommendation.
Would have been
3
25 and
years.
26.
Yeah, 23, 24, 25, and 26.
Okay.
In some way or another, I noticed that as well on the council.
And maybe it's been my mistake on
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
well, it didn't matter, but I mean, that's what I had said, but whatever.
Certainly, we can
council wants.
strike 27, that's
I
easy
think,
enough.
I think if we strike the 27 out,
Okay, let's have a motion to strike 2027 out.
yes, sir.
With second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll strike 2027. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion for the first reading of ordinance 2023-24.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-24 has passed its first reading. I entertain a motion to suspend the rules for readings 2 and 3.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I entertain a motion to approve, adopt ordinance 2023-24.
Motion. Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-24 is approved. Entertain a motion to invoke the emergency clause.
Motion.
I'll clarify the emergency clauses so these takes effect on 1 January, not immediately. Okay, have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hefner.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-24 is approved with emergency clause taking effect 1 January 2024. Thank you very much, council. Next on the agenda is ordinance 2023-25. Read the title, please.
An ordinance amending ordinance 2018-04, repealing and replacing ordinance 2021-15, setting forth the duties of the city clerk of the city of Ward, Arkansas, establishing the salary of the city clerk of the city of Ward, Arkansas, and declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
I'll open the floor for discussion. Do you want to make a motion to strike 27 again? Okay, we have a motion to strike 2027. Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll strike 2027. Any further discussion on ordinance 2023-25? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the ordinance for its first reading.
Make a motion.
Second? Or
Second.
do we have a second? I can't second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-25 has passed its first reading. I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Motion.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Entertain a motion to approve, adopt ordinance 2023-25 on its third reading.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second,
Second.
and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-25 has been approved. I entertain a motion to invoke the emergency clause for enacting on 1 January 2024.
Motion.
Second.
All right, second. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023 has been approved with emergency clause taking effect 1 January 2024. Thank you, council. Next on the agenda is ordinance 2023-26. Would you read the title, please?
An ordinance clarifying the duties of the city council members for the city of Ward, Arkansas, establishing the salary of council members for the city of Ward, Arkansas, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes.
I'll open up the floor for discussion.
So, I have an issue with this one. While I agree with the cost of living increase, if you do the math on a city council member's position and just guess at 4 hours required a month, we're the highest paid elected officials in the city at $62.50 an hour. So I don't think this ordinance is warranted. I don't believe we need a raise.
I could go with maybe 100, but not for 3 years.
I'd like to pass out what I've discovered when I was doing the research on this. Wait a minute. Did I grab the wrong paper? No, I got it. Pass those out. I agree, but it is not a 4-hour job. I mean, it really, in actuality, if you're doing it right, you should be actively involved in the community, and the community should be actively able to, here's more, guys. Pass those around. How many you need? One? Okay. If you would look, the mayors, I looked at that earlier, we've already done that one. If you look at the council, what I've done is I just went and what I could find. This is what the council's average, this is what their pay is. If you look at those cities, even a city of 2,500 people is paying $2,000 more than we are, close to it. And you go up into the average, and so I would say for our size, we're comparable right now with Morton and Mena.
But they have a lot larger tax base.
I agree with that, but we don't currently have any issues financially as far as our tax base goes. As the mayor would tell you, there's a substantial amount of money, and matter of fact, at this point, it's at least $3 million that we have
I still think there's a better spot for that money to be spent than on city council members.
I agree that there's places we could spend money, and that anybody wants to bring those up, we could do it at any time.
I will make a observation, and one of the things that we had talked about in raising the mayor's salary and in city councils is further action, for the future. We're getting people more involved in their cities.
Right.
With little pay, there's little incentive anymore. And the upcoming generation, do you know what the median average, I think I told some of you earlier, what the average age for the city award is? It's 27.2. So as we move forward and get more and more people involved into city government, I think we need to look at raising salaries and including city council. But
I would also note that at least 10 years since there's been a raise for the city council.
yes,
Also, population's projected to, we're growing. And
we are
I
projected.
believe
I just did
population-
a briefing for the city employees here today, and we're looking at possibly being at 9,000 by 2028.
Right, and also, I believe that's gonna come with more responsibility for the city council, so.
There's a lot of responsibility for city council and more to come. Yes, that's true.
Well, and as you said, with that growth also, we want quality people to be making those decisions. And so, I mean, we're not necessarily voting ourselves a raise. I mean, for the strong chance of maybe you don't know what the election will bring in a year. It could be a whole different board here, council people. And, but maybe the increase would assist. But as I said with the mayors, I was not projecting that out to 27. I felt like when we were talking about it in the 24, 25, 26,
Yeah.
which would put us at 550, which a month, which would be in 3 years. Probably these will also have their increases. So I think that would put us at a decent comparison.
Council, we've discussed. Do I have a motion for something? To approve it as for rent or to modify it?
I'll make,
to see it modified.
Need to make that in the form of a motion, please? And what you'd like to modify?
I would like to make a motion that we modify it to $100 this year, or 2024 only, and we can visit it later.
So we have a motion to assume not do the COLA.
No, I think she's saying not to do the 25, 26. on out that way, but just look for a yearly
Okay,
increase.
so,
right now.
so what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, if that's the case, is to strike the line plus an additional $100 per month for the next 3 consecutive years.
Correct.
So is that your motion, to strike that line?
That's my motion, to strike
Okay.
that line.
Do we have a second to strike the or additional $100 per month for the next 3 consecutive years?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to strike that line. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McMahon,
No.
Okay.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
No.
Councilmember Chapman,
No. My mic's not working.
It keeps going dead when he pushes it. There we go.
No.
The vote, if I'm not mistaken, is 3-3, correct? I am not going to weigh in on this. Motion dies for lack of a majority.
Because I did it.
I'd like to make a motion to approve as submitted with the ordinance.
We have a motion to approve as submitted. We have a second.
A second.
We have a motion and a second as submitted. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hefner,
No.
Councilmember Brooke,
No.
Councilmember Rubel,
No.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon.
Yes.
It's tied 3-3 again. I will let council know that if this is approved, you don't have to accept the raise. You can submit in writing to the city that you don't want that raise and you won't get it. But I'm going to cast a vote yes. Entertain a motion to suspend the rules on the second and third reading.
I make the motion.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
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 Sounds like we have a 3-3 opposing also. I'll vote in a positive affirmative on yes, suspend the rules. I entertain a motion for a third reading approval for orders 2023-26.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooke,
Just for
No.
adoption. Excuse me?
No.
Okay.
Councilmember Rubel,
No.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hefner.
No.
Again, we have a 3-3 tie. I'll cast an affirmative yes vote. Ordinance 2023-26 is approved as presented. I entertain a motion for an emergency clause with this going into effect 1 January 2024.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rubel,
No.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
No.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
It's 42.
42. Ordinance 2023-26 is approved with emergency clause taking effect 1 January of 2024. Thank you, council. Ordinance 2023-27, would you read the title, please?
An ordinance clarifying the duties of Planning Commission, establishing the salary for Planning Commission members for the City of Ward, Arkansas, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes.
I'll open up the floor for discussion. I will tell you that we've never had an ordinance on this for Planning Commission. We've never paid Planning Commission, but in checking with other cities, it's up in the air. You do, you don't. But I think, again, as we move forward to getting qualified, or not qualified, that's not the right word, but quantity people to come in and more or less volunteer for a small stipend, I think it's a good idea for the 6 members to get $50 a month. And for the chairperson, who now has more responsibility because we pull him in every time we get a plat or something like that. When we have our staff meeting about it, we bring him in also. So he has more responsibilities. I'll open it for discussion.
So I've got an opinion about this one too, which is normally the most unpopular, but I believe it should be $100 around the table. I don't think it should be 50 for the ones that vote and 100 for the, when it comes to a meeting. I think it should be 100 around the table.
Clarify, so you're saying, like the, I don't know what you call them, I just went blank.
Commission members?
Yeah, like the members would all get 100, not 50, but the main person still would get the same amount the
Same
others
as
do.
100.
But do you not feel that the responsibilities are divided a little bit differently?
I don't believe that he needs to make twice as much as the voting members on it. And I don't believe $50, if you're gonna give them $50, you might as well give them nothing. So, I believe the members are to at least get $100 apiece.
I agree with Rob on that. I think $50 just didn't seem like worth, I mean, it's really not even a stipend, really. It's just not really much.
It's a,
Token.
well, token, yes, token, I guess you might say, but it's a start.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think 100, I wouldn't disagree with Rob. Although I believe that obviously the chairman does a lot more work, in my opinion.
I agree with you on the $100 part. I do agree with you on that, but I disagree that I feel like that the person, the commissioner they're going out to the job sites and everything, and they're expected to. Whereas the members typically just read the information that not all of them are going out there. I don't feel like that's necessarily the expectation. And it just, I feel like this, probably stronger about this than I do city council, and it is kind of all going into it. As we're growing, there's more and more information, and to get people to actually volunteer to run for an office or to volunteer to be on that commission, we've got to start doing something to entice them to take the time, because if you prioritize your work and what you're doing and then reading all this stuff, it's a lot of junk to sort through. I mean, it took me several months to even figure out how everything worked, so I've kept my mouth shut. But I feel like Planning Commission in particular, it has not gone well in a long time. And I feel like we're kind of getting on the right track. And in order to keep going on the right track, we've got to make it worth their while to do that. So I definitely agree with you on the $100 stuff, but I disagree with you. I feel like that the person who's leading it does need a little bit more, just like you know, to keep everybody
What are your
together.
thoughts on $100 for the planning commission members and then $150 for the chairman?
I'm fine with that. My biggest problem is you throw $50 at somebody, it's kind of like giving everybody a medal on the soccer team.
I agree. I thought we initially discussed $100.
If you make that a motion, I'd second.
Well, there's the motion.
Okay, your motion is for $100?
To move it up $50.
Okay, so $100 for the 6 members and $150 for the chairperson.
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll make that change. With that, I'd entertain a motion on the first reading of ordinance 2023-27.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
No, we have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMinn,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Abstain.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-27 has been approved on its first reading. I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules for second and third reading.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to approve, adopt ordinance 2023-28.
Motion.
Second.
Wait, 28, 27?
27, I'm sorry. 27.
Thought you were trying to slide something in.
So we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon?
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke?
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel?
Yes.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to enact the emergency clause.
Motion.
We have a motion with second. We have a
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember McMahon?
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke?
No.
Councilmember Rubel?
Yes.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Let's count.
1, 2.
Okay. Ordinance 2023-27 is approved with emergency clause effective 1 January 2024. If you don't mind, council, I'd like to take a short break. You ought to stay in place. Mr. Chris, I need to speak to you outside, please. Chris Lacy, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think I got cold. I'm leaving on vacation. Oh, we always take Christmas week because it's always worked out for us. Our family has Christmas and Thanksgiving together. And so my wife's.
Okay. I apologize for that. I had a question I need to ask our city attorney, but everything's fine. Next on the agenda. Oh, sorry. While Mr. Rubel's out for a moment, I'll let you know that I thought the parade went well. Those who attended. Big turnout, always is. Santa Claus took a bunch of pictures. We had a grand time. My break was a little bit less than yours, sorry.
I was glad for it.
You're welcome. Okay, we didn't go off record or whatever, but we'll call this back to order. All right, ordinance 2023-28. Read title, please.
An ordinance appointing a city attorney for the city of Ward, Arkansas, clarifying the duties of city attorney, establishing the salary of the city attorney, repealing and replacing ordinance 2016-09, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes.
And I'll open up the floor for discussion. This has been something's needed for a while. This is clarifying his duties, and it is required by statute. Something we've been lacking, to be honest. Any discussion? Hearing none, pardon me?
I do have a little bit. I'm just
Sure.
curious that even at this increase, is it even close? Like this study that was done for the city council, have we done one of those for him? Because
Part-time, for a part-time city attorney?
Yes.
I think it's, Chris,
I don't know that it's even close to the towns around as it is right now.
I don't even know what the increase is, to be honest with you.
the cost of living, 3.2%.
All I can
You
tell
go
you
to
is
35,944.
from 16 to now, my net has gone up $141. That's all I can tell you. I don't know what the gross is.
34,
But I also started getting municipal insurance, so,
right, he does get municipal insurance and he's on our, April.
which I had the
pension
option to
plan.
do when I first started, but I declined it at first.
Right.
And then as the years go by and my private insurance got so high, I switched over to the municipal.
But Mr. Lacy, as our city attorney, is also our city prosecutor. He also is on call for everything under the sun as far as the city goes. I don't think that's, honestly, I think it's too low for what he does.
I'm honestly, for the position, I think it's okay. There are months that there are more than others. I will tell you, I've been more involved with this administration than the previous administration, but I did more drafting for the previous administration, which was extra billing. I very rarely have any extra billing under this administration because the mayor drafts all his own ordinances and resolutions, and I just review them and approve or edit. So there's almost never any charges for that. But yeah, I don't have any issue with it. We've actually decreased our court appearances by 1 day a month. We used to do city on one day, state and county on another day, and affidavits on another day. Now we've combined affidavits with state and county, so there's actually a couple hours less a month that I'm doing than when we first started. So, I mean, I don't have any issue with that.
I certainly think that this, I mean, if we want to, we can, you know, review this again, take a look at it at a later date. And,
Have any thoughts on it?
It seems a little low, but I would like to, I think it would be best to, I mean, maybe go ahead and approve this and then do the study. I have this study, I do have the study for our department heads, I do have that. Because I thought that might be something we needed to look at and compare, but we've already pretty much, everything's fine with those. But I'd like to
The
look
mayor
at.
is correct. It's by ordinance. When I first started, we were city of second class.
right,
And now, being city of first class, it is required to be by ordinance, the duties and whatnot, and it's never been done. Even when Clint McGee was attorney for 20-something years, there was never an ordinance stating what he made and what he did. So, especially now that we're city of first class, I do agree that it needs to be on paper that, what the duties and obligations are.
Well, if we moved up to the city of...
Mike, please.
Well, I thought you had to run,
So there's nobody in the city that ran. So when you don't have anybody in the city to run, then council approves based on mayor's recommendation. So at the time that I was up for nomination, the only other applicant was Jimmy Taylor, who was a full-time city attorney with City of Cabot at that time. And city council correctly said, you can't do that. You can't be full-time down there and part-time up here. So they elected me, or they voted me in, I guess you'd say.
And this ordinance also clarifies by the statute, outlines the appointing him as the city attorney. And
Could we go ahead and move forward with this and then set a date in February to come back and
Sure, absolutely.
look at the salary?
But is this, so are you making appointment permanent, or is he gonna be up for election when it comes to election time?
Now, he's up permanently until, if you read the,
If somebody in the city of Ward
Right.
were to pay the filing fee and enter, and run, then I'd be out.
But do you reside in the city?
Say again?
Do you reside in the city?
No, there are no licensed attorneys that reside in the city of Ward to my knowledge. If there are, none of them have
come forward and wanted to
come
be the city
forward
attorney.
and asked to apply or to run for the position.
Basically, if I understand, if one comes forward, and says, I want to be city attorney,
I'm out. So if there's a city attorney, if there's an attorney in the city of Ward that decides to run, I'm out.
right.
But if there's another attorney that wants to be attorney, then we get to pick between you and the other attorney, correct?
Yes, so at the end, whatever this, I don't know what the ordinance says, so, about that. It would be up to this council to,
That's not what the ordinance says. It
Change
says it's
jobs.
up to the mayor.
No, it said that he shall remain as such until he resigns as current city attorney.
Yeah, we need to strike that. I make a motion to strike that last line.
Section 5, you want to strike the line, "He shall remain as such until he resigns"?
Yes.
That's fine with that. Good. We got a motion, we got a second?
Second.
All those approved? Oh, you think y'all? All those approved, say yea. Say yea. And any opposed? Okay, we'll strike that line. Any further discussion or changes?
As far as, we're gonna review it in February?
Yeah, we'll
back
put it on
to
the
it.
agenda for city attorney salary review.
Somebody gonna, who's gonna
We can.
review
Yeah,
the surrounding cities?
we, through the
Equivalent.
cities or through the municipal leagues salary survey, we'll take a look, see what our city attorneys, we have to weigh the factor because he's not a full-time city attorney. He's a part-time city attorney, and he also does city prosecutor, so we'll take a look at it.
And that's where I was coming from, is he does a handful of stuff for the city. He is not just the city attorney, he's also the city prosecutor, and I just need to see where that was.
Honestly, the prosecuting is the bulk of the work.
It is.
That's the bulk of the work. And some city attorneys don't prosecute.
Right. And that's about the salary of just the prosecutor in the city that I'm familiar with.
So the section 6 covers as city attorney and prosecutor?
Yes.
Okay.
I do know for the state, a full-time attorney makes about 70 or so,
True.
but that's just a full-time. They make
Full-time
about,
state attorney is 70, 80,000.
Well, Mr. Hooper makes 120 in Cabot. But he also prosecutes.
Yes, he does. He also has attorneys working for him and paralegals and
Yes, he does.
whole legal staff.
Yes, he does, which I'm very thankful for our staff in the city clerk's office, or the court office.
Yes, yeah, they do.
They do a very
Fantastic
good
job. We will put this on the agenda next month for salary survey, but I'd entertain a motion to go ahead and approve ordinance 2023-28 on its first reading.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hefner,
I just have a quick question that you didn't mention that is as amended.
As amended, yes, thank you.
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
and Councilmember McMahon.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-28 is approved on first reading. I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules for second and third reading.
Motion.
We have a motion, second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to adopt, approve ordinance 2023-28.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion, second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-28 is approved and adopted. I'd entertain a motion to put it on emergency clause, please.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
and Councilmember Brooke.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-28 is approved with emergency clause, takes effect 1 January of 2024. Thank you, council. And it will be on an agenda for next month. Ordinance 2023-29, if you'll read the title, please.
An ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance 2021-04, an ordinance establishing the police department, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes.
Council discovered that there's another piece of law that says that we're supposed to have an ordinance that by general ordinance, the number of subordinate officers to be appointed. Section 3 is doing that, and that's based off the appropriations of the budget that you passed already. This is really just a formality.
I have a question about this.
Sure.
It shows, if I remember, because I'm not sitting here looking at it, it says 16, we have a slotted for 16 sworn officers or full-time officers and only 5 auxiliary. Where do we come up with the number 5?
We just,
And why are we at that low? If you have officers that are available and certified in the capacity to do that, and they're free for most of the time, why would we leave our number at 5?
well, that's what we've had for a while. I mean, we could, obviously, if we had an influx of officers who want to volunteer, we can come to city council and ask for approval to raise that number.
And I would like to see a clause put in there where you could use your auxiliary officers and be able to pay them and use them to fill in slots, like if you have somebody out on surgeries or FMLA or whatever it may be, that you could offer them the ability to fill in this for that officer during the allotted time that they're allowed and pay them to do so. So like a part, or like a auxiliary / part-time clause of some sort where you could utilize them if need be.
That would probably be a discussion for another day. That probably takes a little more involvement with Mr. Lacy and the chief on how we're going to word that, if that's what we want to do.
I just think with the current state of affairs in law enforcement, use what you can use, and if you're able to pay an auxiliary guy to come in and fill a shift for somebody that's sick, you probably get a few more people that would be willing to do it.
And that's a harder job than the planning commission.
How many auxiliary do we have right now?
0, well, 2, I'm sorry.
So we do have 2. We have no part-time, chief, we don't have any part-time employees. Is that that's by choice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many, many years ago, we had lots of part-time, and it's, the scheduling, it's difficult.
They want to work with him.
Right, right. Let us take that thought back and staff it up and see what comes up.
You know, it's a good idea, Perry. It may not work for Ward, but it sounds good on paper. To have that option there.
Certainly something we can discuss. Chief?
I believe what standards rules, if I remember
Come on up.
correctly. Sorry. I
Keep
believe
what?
by standards rules, if I remember correctly, to address part of your comments, you can have 2 auxiliary for every 1 full-time. And, you know, I'm just gonna be honest, my experience with auxiliary in the past has not been good. That's why I've chosen, in years past, we took auxiliary and part-time spots and combined them to get full-time people. You know, somebody came up and wanted to do an auxiliary, I'm more than willing to talk to them. I don't know if it's gonna change or be any better than it was in the past, but I'd be willing to talk to them.
I've seen situations, and I know Chief's seen them too, where you got,
Mike.
say, like you got a full-time officer for Sherwood that lives in the city, might wanna, you know, be on the books as a part-time officer that can fill in for you somewhere and gives him a little bit more money in his pocket or something to that effect, versus just being an auxiliary guy, you know, that he works a Panama shift and this week he's off Tuesday and Wednesday and you got an open slot that you need a officer in. I just thought that would be a surefire way to do it if he's listed as auxiliary, but you can pay him if he fills a shift or if he's listed as a part-time 1 officer or whatever.
Well, you could list them as a part-time and
What?
establish a salary for the part-time.
Well, I see there's a note for the 3 next to the 5. Auxiliary officers are unpaid except as appropriated by council. How would they be appropriated?
That appropriation means through the budget process. So
Right.
There's no funding for auxiliary in the budget.
Okay, so it says except as appropriated by council.
Correct,
So
through
how
the
would
budget.
we, I mean, you would have to wait a year for the next
No,
budget?
budget can be changed anytime.
Okay, so,
My main purpose in this is to kind of plant a seed. I know we've had some difficulties obtaining, and every department in the state is having problems. Let's face it, nobody's beating the door down to be the police anymore.
No.
You can thank the news channels and everybody else for that. But, I'm just trying to say we could have an avenue open to where we could come back without having to wait till the next council meeting to approve it. If we could put that somewhere in the chief's operating ordinance where it's already there, then we've solved the problem head on. You know, if he wants to hire Officer Snuffy from Austin PD that's full-time to come down here and work a shift that he needs, which I've seen that happen before.
Well, we have done that, and what we
So-
do is we pay him a contract wage.
Right.
We have done that.
And forgive me to address your immediate concern. I think on the current ordinance, on the auxiliary, just for the sake of the ordinance, you can up it to 2 to 1 by standard rules.
Right.
If that's what you choose to do. And then later, if you wanna come back and talk about the budget, that would be up to all of y'all. But if you wanna put numbers in place immediately on this current ordinance, standards, I believe, is 2 for 1 is max.
Well, I don't think we need 32 auxiliary officers, and that'll never be an accurate, that will never be a feasible number, ever.
It appears, Chief, I was looking at the 16, that's what you have, 16, and that's counting you, I guess?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
yes.
so you have 16, but we're operating on 1 at night most of the time, right?
Well, with y'all's approval, no, that will change.
Oh, so this is an increase?
Yes.
The budget's all approved is going to allow me to put more on at night, yes.
Okay, so
The budget
what do
full-
we have currently?
Currently, when it's ideal situation without people out in surgeries, I have one doing a split. They're usually out till 2 a.m. and then the other one stays till 6.
No, I guess what I was asking is, are we increasing our staffing? We're adding officers? Is that what this is doing?
We fully funded it. It
Yeah,
was already on the books.
Yeah,
The budget will increase my staff. This, I think, I wasn't aware of the law. This just sets,
Yeah. So what do you got full-time?
Numbers.
What time you got full-time now? How many you got full-time before the budget increase?
This
12,
may be,
13.
this may be public record, but should it be discussed in public? How many patrolmen we have going on right now?
It's-
Yeah, it has to be.
Okay.
So we're increasing, we're adding, through this and the budget, we're adding 3 or 4 officers in.
Funding them, yes.
Yeah, okay.
well, way I understand it, this and the budget are totally separate.
Oh, okay.
This is saying a maximum number of people you can ever have.
Oh, this is, no, okay.
Then the budget would have to come in later to fund it to get it up to those numbers if we ever get there.
Okay. So are we funded at this, at the 16?
I believe we are.
I don't,
So that would mean that you've currently got 4 positions open.
It sounds like to me.
You have 12 full-time, and there's 16 available.
We have 16 on the books right now,
but that's,
Positions or people?
positions.
I just want to make sure that you have what you need to facilitate the protection of this city. I don't want it to come back and say, well, we gotta go to the council meeting for this. If we're here, let's fix
well,
it now.
Rob, I mean, you're in this line of work, you're never gonna have what you need.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Okay, the city doesn't have that kind of money.
Right.
But yes, we are making it work. With this current budget you just passed, I will be able to add 2 people to my night rotation, which I desperately need. Other than that, our needs are fulfilled.
So then you're gonna go ahead and bring in two more, so you'll go up to 14 then?
Well, and of course, my number could be wrong. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
sit down and count it all.
So you got 16 funded positions?
Yeah.
But not people in those positions, all positions?
Yeah, he's got openings.
Right.
But they got that much funded where he can hire.
Yes.
Shouldn't have to. shouldn't be worrying about too much of staffing if we go ahead and find the officers. That's gonna be another problem for you, is finding them.
Yeah, that's a completely different subject. It's tough for everybody in the state right now.
Maybe we need to give the police officers raises.
I think we gave them pretty good raises over the last 3 years.
Yes,
And
excellent.
I think pardon me? Well, just a COLA increase this year because we really upped them a couple years ago. And we look at it constantly. The chief will come in, we'll talk, and if we need to come back because of sister cities or the standards or whatever, and we need to raise the salaries, we'll come back and talk to the council about that. Right now, I think Chief and I agree that the salaries are where they need to be for City Ward.
I think they're comparable
They
to
are.
BB right now. Yeah.
They're within cents.
Yeah.
We're not the highest, we're far from the lowest, so.
We
yes,
used to
we're in
be,
a good spot.
we used to be pretty well down.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel years ago. but-
We're not stuck on level, but my mic wasn't on.
It's salary, it's just like we said about budgets. I mean, budgets can be changed. If we, in the middle of the year, we say, look, we got to raise salaries to entice or keep our people, then we'll come back to council and see what monies are available to pay our people. But we don't want to overprice ourselves and pay a reasonable
But,
for them.
you're competing with everybody in the region. And I mean, let's be honest, we're never gonna be able to compete with Little Rock. We don't have that kind of funds.
Nor that kind of crime, thank God.
I have the same crime, just not as much, because
Yes.
I'm not as big. But yes, we are in a good spot on salary right now. I have no complaints with that.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve ordinance 2023-29.
We have a motion to approve 2023-29. We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-29 is approved on its first reading. I entertain a motion to suspend the rules for second and third reading.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. All those approve, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I entertain a motion to adopt, approve ordinance 2023-29.
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-29 has been approved. Entertain a motion to enact emergency clause.
Motion?
We have a motion. We have a second? Second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel, Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chapman.
I was doing it now.
Yes.
Okay. Right, yeah, only 3 can be on a mic at a time, so.
Oh, somebody
Yeah. Okay, so we get everybody, okay. Ordinance 2023-29 has been approved with the emergency clause. It goes into effect immediately. Next on the agenda is Resolution 2023-32. Read title, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and/or city clerk of the city of Ward to enter into a contract with Red River Ford to purchase 2 2024 Ford Maverick trucks for the Ward water and sewer system.
I'll open up the floor for discussion. Bruce would have been here, but he's sick.
I have a motion to add to this.
Okay?
I think the money needs to be put into, we spoke briefly about this. These trucks are made with aluminum bodies and all this. I think they need to have spray and bed liners put in them because shovels, tools, things like that being chucked in the bed of them are gonna beat a hole in them. I mean, we're talking $400 or $500 a piece to put a spray-in bed liner in these instead of the little drop-in garbage ones that people use. So I don't know how you want me to, or how I'm supposed to say that, add it, but that's what I want.
Let's just say, add to section 1 authorization, as it says, plus $600 per vehicles, because the law allows for that, to include, no, because this is.
But it might have to be something separate or
It'd have to be something separate.
approval or something,
We just do a
but,
motion, we just do a separate motion on that.
okay,
Once this, if this is approved,
okay.
then we'll come back and just do a separate motion on that. Okay. Anyway, any
I
further
think those
discussion?
Mavericks are supposed to come with some strange tailgate or bed stuff.
Yeah, they don't have bed covers on, though, they're bare. But when you buy them off the state bid, there's not much
Right.
to them.
This is actually better than state bid. Law allows that if you can find a dealer that meets or beats the state bid, you don't have to go out for bids, you can just take it. So, Red River, we contacted them and they beat the, bid by almost $1,000.
But that has to be the same type of vehicle, right?
Correct, yes.
And that's
Yes.
apples, oranges type
No,
stuff.
it's apples with apples.
Is there a different model of Ford that they could, like the Ranger, would have been better?
Not on the state contract, no.
So when I seen this, I looked on the current state bid, and the next one is, and this is gonna be opinion-based, sorry to offend anybody, but, well, that's just what I do. The next one that is even relatively close to this is their Dodge pickups, like the 1500s, and there's not many of those available.
And what was the
right now.
cost?
And the cost is substantially more than the Mavericks,
Yes.
like $20,000.
And the Mavericks, and Bruce, if he was here, he'd tell you this, this is what he would like to have because they're smaller bed to get in and out of the lift stations much easier than the full-size pickups. That's one of the reasons he wants to go to these smaller pickups. Any further discussion?
What's the, no further discussion.
Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2023-32.
Make a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hefner,
No.
Councilmember Brooke,
No.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
and Councilmember McMinn.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-2. Thank you, council. Next on the agenda is Resolution 2023-33. Read title, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and/or city clerk to purchase a 2022 Cushman 1200X gas utility vehicle.
I'll open the floor for discussion. This, and the resolution says this, it's from Don Davis, who's our CPA. In a conversation with him one day about eclipse preparation, I told him that we were renting 4 golf carts for that particular time period, and he said, I got this one for sale, and we started talking about it, and sent me pictures of it, and we started doing some research, and this is something we could use. It's, if you saw the pictures, I guess on the attachments that we sent with it, it's you got a utility bed on it, it's not a golf cart. But I think this would be a great addition to our Parks and Recreation, and it can be used for any department for that fact.
So, I think it was last month when Chief come up for his, didn't the police department transfer theirs to the Parks and Rec?
It did, and it's been in the shop 2 times since then.
So it should be fixed.
It's tried to be fixed. We're to the point where good money after bad product.
So does that mean that it needs to go?
It will
on
come
the
up,
auction site, and we need to get rid of it?
yes,
or-
in time, yeah, we'll bring that up. Not right now, because it's working right now, but we'll bring it up.
It's working right now?
I think so, but it's debatable about when. if you looked at the, attachments and some research, this is a good buy, but if you all would like to do that. I think it'd be a welcome addition to the city. It'll be something if properly cared for, and then the people that are in charge of my department heads are very conscious on keeping care of things down.
Comparative cost is that 10,787?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did some Google search, and they go for much higher.
Wasn't our last one 20,000?
Right, for a side-by-side.
Yeah, this is an apple and oranges compared to.
No, this is a golf cart. I mean, this is a Cushman utility vehicle. It'd be great for Parks and Recreation to, carry their equipment with them when they go do the marketing of the fields or lawn care or whatever. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2023-33.
I make the motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
I'll make a second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooke,
No.
Councilmember Rubel,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yeah.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hefner.
No.
4-2, motion carries. Resolution 2023 is approved. Thank you, council. Next on the agenda is Resolution 2000, I have 32 on the screen, but no, 2023-34. Read title, please.
A resolution expressing the willingness of the City of Ward to utilize state and street monies for the following project, Ward Overlay.
Council, if you remember an email sent to everybody as information we announced on Facebook, we were awarded $300,000 to overlay 6 streets. This is a part of the process that we have to pass this resolution to move forward. Without the resolution, we don't get these monies. If you remember, we estimate the cost is about $338,000. So if it's over $300,000, we have to pay for the rest, but I'll spend $38,000 every day to get $300,000. And again, this is 100% state money. It's RDOT. Street aid program is pretty cool. They do all the engineering, everything. They oversee it. The only thing we would be out is if we had to buy right-of-ways or move utilities. And these are city streets that are already in existence, so we won't be out any money.
This is Owens and stuff like that you...
Right, Marshall, Owen, North, Markham, and Elm, and then Moore Street in front of the fire station. So,
Motion.
Second.
we have a motion second to approve, I'm assuming, Resolution 2023-34. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Root,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-34 is approved. Thank you, council. Next on the agenda is Resolution 2023-35. Read title, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and/or city clerk to dispose of the following vehicles via public auction on www.govdeals.net.
I'll open the floor for discussion. This is part of our cleanup. When we started looking at whether or not we needed some new vehicles, we have several vehicles that need to be gone, and these are several that need to be.
I did not see that in the resolutions folder.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's
And then
attached.
there's an attachment with
Well, there's a truck inventory.
No, that's it, the truck inventory.
Well, that doesn't have the resolution. That's just a truck inventory.
It's underneath it, there's another one underneath it.
No, her, it comes as Excel spreadsheet, what comes up. It's separate from the, resolution she has.
Oh, okay, direct sale. It wasn't in a folder.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2023-35.
Motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-35 has been approved. Thank you, council. We'll take care of that.
Mayor,
Next-
can I take a quick break?
We'd take a little quick 5-minute break.
Smoke them if you got them. Be a cigarette.
Mics are still hot, by the way. Okay, we are back. Everybody good? We'll go ahead and continue on. It's been a long night. We had a lot on the agenda tonight. Resolution 2023, did that again, -36. Read title, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and/or city clerk to renew certificates of deposit with Bank OZK.
I'll open the floor for discussion. These are just the routine, these were 6-month CDs that are maturing. We'd like to take them to 12-month. They'll each earn 4.9%. Any discussion?
Those things were being paid at 5 and stuff.
4.9 is almost 5.
The previous was 4.99,
There's some of the things that are still 5.5,
Yeah.
probably,
like that, so.
but
but
this just rolls over automatically. We've,
I make a motion, we approve Resolution 2023-36.
we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon?
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke?
Yes.
Councilmember Rubel?
Yes.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Resolution 2023-36 is approved, and we will take care of that tomorrow morning. Thank you very much, council. Ordinance 2024-01 is for review discussion only. I think you have provided, or we can provide you with attachment 1. It should have been in the package. Do we want to discuss that tonight, or do you just want to review it and we'll of course vote on it next month? That is the annual city council procedures ordinance.
Can we table it till next month?
Well, you'll have it in front of you. It should be in the package in the folder, and just review it for next month. All right?
Yeah, make a motion to do that.
Okay, we have a motion to press on with reviewing it on your own, and it'll come up for a vote next month.
Second.
Okay? Next on the agenda is ordinance 2024. This is also for your review, for discussion, if you'd like to tonight, or if you just want to take it with you and review it later. It's the ordinance authorizing temporary parking RVs for the eclipse time period. So what I'd like for you to do is just take that with you, review it, we'll bring it up for discussion and action next month. All right.
Motion.
All right, mayor's report. Well, give me one, because I apparently have another one. Okay. I guess. All right, we'll go ahead and get on these. SART 4, which is our sidewalk project within, what is the name of that subdivision? Orchard Hollow. It's a 30% construction design, it's been submitted to RDOT, waiting for their approval. The meter replacement project is ongoing. Don's back there. We have several meters and endpoints, and the crews started installing the meters. Is that correct, Don? Yes, sir. Okay. So that project is fully going, and we anticipate as soon as possible, 6 months maybe, but like when it's all said and done, we'll be able to, and on the date meter readings are due, water office will push a button and all the meter readings come in.
How do you get on the list?
It'll all be, it's automatic.
It just goes by book, by what books they're doing right now. So you'll.
Everybody's meter will get replaced.
It'll be replaced.
I know, but I want mine done now.
Well, we'll talk about that. The Arkansas Economic Development Council, CDBG grant monies, we're still waiting for their decision, waiting ANRC's decision for the $700,000 to fully fund that project.
How many more is on the vacuum?
60 some odd, if I remember correctly.
What area is that in?
Mainly over off of, and I wish Bruce was here to, well, Don, are you aware? Come on forward. Put you on the spot. Are you aware of what all areas the vacuum is still? I know the apartment's on Opal and down that area.
Yeah, we have Opal, Pintar, Marshall, Wilson Loop, and Center and Sally.
About 60 homes.
Opal's on vacuum?
Just a couple. We have a buffer tank over there.
I'm right there, so.
Anyway, if this gets approved, we'll get everybody off the vacuum, and once the vacuum, now correct me if I'm wrong, but once the vacuum's completely off, that vacuum station over there off of, Markham will go away.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Well, if I'm on vacuum, is that why my toilet never flushes the first time?
No, you're on a gravity, and then it all goes to the buffer tank, which then gets sucked out, but
Oh, okay, so it's gravity that's bad, or
well, it
it's,
could be roots, could be just buildup in your pipe or whatnot, your service line. The majority of the vacuum isn't on Opal. It's, you got more on Marshall and, Center, Sally, Wilson.
I'm old Opal.
Gotcha. So yours would be gravity and it goes down. So you shouldn't have any issues other than maybe buildup in your pipe.
I probably got buildup in my pipe.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
All right. Thank you, Don. We already talked about the street aid submittal. We were awarded $300,000. Oh, above that was the RDOT TAB grant for SARTS 5, which is running a sidewalk down from Moon Road Extension there in front of the church down Brewer for $256,000. We'll have, next month probably we'll have a resolution in front of you to get that process started through RDOT. The Highway 319 overlay, not complete. They still got to come back and do the guardrails and a couple other things, but for the most part, it's very smooth sailing down through there.
Who filled in the hole? Who filled in the hole?
Which hole?
The one that they were talking about.
Oh, I think they
The
just
one I
over-
requested.
I think they just overlaid the top of it.
Yeah, they didn't, if you hit it, you're still going.
There is some delay on the guardrail because come find out there's a fiber optics bundle right underneath where they want to put a guardrail. So RDOT will have to figure out how to get that moved at their cost. We're still waiting for the RFP release for the energy revolving loan lease fund. Metroplan's RDOT project call date, the TAP project, we had a meeting last Thursday night with several of us came together in here and decided on a sidewalk project that will go from Hickory down to Elm to 367 and then down the Dollar General side from Dollar General to Moore Street up there by the fire station.
So we will have sidewalks there at Dollar General?
That's what our intent is, yes.
Okay.
Under this program, the rules have kind of changed, and I've been in contact with Metroplan about this, and the call for project has actually come out. As long as we're connecting to a sidewalk, an existing sidewalk, we have points there. Proverbially, they want a sidewalk connects to a school, but we can't connect to a school yet, the sidewalks to a school, until we get a sidewalk crossing over railroad tracks. That's a different project all on its own, but we need to get some sidewalks on this side of the tracks, and so that's what we're going to. Through the committee the other night, through the working group, that's what we decided to come up with, and we'll work on that. The unified development, we talked about that at UDO. We've had the staff reviews are finalized, and we've been back and forth with Metroplan on several items that they've questioned us, and we've questioned them. License plate reader cameras, RDOT finally approved all the right-of-way requests and should start being installed soon. Should. Consolidated 911 Center had an extended meeting today with the 911 board. Still working on some potential proposals for 911 equipment. The 911 call center, dispatch center will be located in Cabot in their new Justice Center. The June wastewater study, we're still waiting for Arkansas Rural Water to get that study to us. The June 25th, 26th windstorm event, the federal government has declared that a federal disaster, so allows us for a possible 75% reimbursement for allowable expenditures. We estimate our reimbursement about $34,000, and we have done the initial documents to Adam to get this process going. And finally, Southern Paramedic contract expires May 16, 2024. They're currently under a year-to-year contract, but Southern is wanting a 3-year contract. Prior to this past year, it was under a 5-year contract, and they requested year-to-year. Now they want to come back and they're requesting a 3-year contract. The question is, do we offer a contract for 3 years extension, or do you want to issue an RFP, look for a new service? What's your thoughts?
RFP.
Why do you need an RFP?
RFP.
What's your thoughts process on getting an RFP? what services are not being provided, you think would be provided by another service?
I just think if we get out and have the contracts, we would have a better, what is the word I'm looking for? They would have to compete.
They would, and costs might go up too. I don't know. From the fire department, chief, he's our left, we've discussed this and we've been in contact with Southern Paramedic. We're, from a city standpoint, we're satisfied with the service they've been providing. Knowing the other services in the area, they are all, and across the country, having problems keeping EMTs, getting EMTs almost like police officers. We as a city, city leadership have no problem with continuing this contract with council. That is entirely up to you. If you want us to look at doing an RFP, we'll start drafting an RFP and go forward. Mr. Chief, you got a comment?
Yes. It's my understanding that Southern's fixing to put an ambulance bay in Austin,
That's true.
which is going to actually benefit us greatly,
Right.
as opposed to the hit and miss it's been in the past, whether we had an ambulance here, they had to send one out of Stuttgart.
Yeah, that's their operating area. Again, staffing is the main problem, and staffing and how much lead time they have to, or time they have to spend at a hospital waiting to get in. That's another issue on its own. I will tell you that if we go for RFP, we can do that. You're looking at probably, if maybe North Star, which is BB area and
Bradford, or there's several.
Bradford, or Survival Flight, MEMS can come in and we can look at contracts. It's
I think we should do the study simply because they're asking for 3 years, and so,
Right.
you know, I just feel like we should be comparing before we make that kind of decision.
Council, I need a motion to proceed with the RFP process.
Motion to proceed with the RFP process.
We have a motion and a second to proceed with an RFP package for paramedic service. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll press forward. We have anybody comment from non-agenda items? Okay. Anything else on this agenda we'd like to discuss tonight?
I would like to ask about I mentioned an ordinance for a small city park in the middle of the subdivisions, and you said that it would be in the UDO.
When we get to the point, and we can talk about it now, obviously, but that'll be a UDO paragraph or whatever, or section in there. But let me ask you, what are your thoughts? What are you wanting to do?
Take maybe one of the lots in the center of the subdivisions and make it a city park with maybe 1 or 2 pieces of equipment.
So what you're asking to do is for a developer to give up one of his revenue lots to the city for a park?
Yes.
Well,
And there is a reason, and I don't know if I can, a city park, you have 1,000 feet, a pedophile cannot be near. So that would be revenue generating, and the fact that we'd sell our houses faster because the people would know that they cannot have, or that they won't have a pedophile within 1,000 feet of this park.
so you're thinking about requiring green space within a subdivision?
Yes. For the safety of our kids in the city of Ward.
I'm not sure that'll increase the sales of houses. They sell pretty good as it is.
You wouldn't buy a house in a subdivision faster to save your kids?
I'm not sure that'd be a selling point for me personally, but others it may be. Let me, with your permission, let me take this back and staff it up, because I'm not sure. We have to work through Mr. Lacy. And this is possible, but we have to staff it up and see what the legalities are putting that into a UDO, which would be requiring to it. I think it's possible. I think it is. But we need to check on that. So if you don't mind, we'll just take that suggestion and see what we can run up with. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Does Rob need to make a motion?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll make a motion for the bed liners in the 2 Maverick trucks, spray-in bed liners to be,
So you want to make a motion that it's the wish of the council that the new trucks be have spray and bed liners?
yes.
Second.
Okay, a motion is second for that. Anybody? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll make that happen. Anything else for this council?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
You have, I didn't need to update the announcement, so you have all the announcements anyway, so. All right, we have motion second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
You're done. Thank you very much, council.
And have